This conference will now be recorded.
I hope you already guys are seen my YouTube video. So let's me share my screen and let's start that session. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Rohit.
Yes, right.
Okay. Thank you. So this is my new ServiceNow instance, and it is currently in the Madrid instance. So we'll start from this Madrid instance because this is the latest version currently using the ServiceNow. So as I told that for the ServiceNow, in service portals, this is mostly developed or mostly used by the end user. And to use these portals or to develop this portal, you need that sp underscore admin role or the admin role. If you have any of those like sp underscore admin or admin, you will be able to see that service portal modules. So let's see, to access this left navigation, the module name is the service portal. And in the service portal, we have the first tooling, which is basically for the graphical representation. It means that if I click the service portal's home, it lands that service portal homepage. This is the default page. This is the default portals or default page. And next module is the service portal configurations, which is allow us to configure through a graphical representation. You can say that I already gave you the demo that how we can change the portal's parameter by branding editor. Similarly, you can edit the page, edit the widgets. So we'll come this later. Next thing is the portals, where your all the portals are stored. Currently, I have that 7 portal, and those portals are currently, I mean, the 7 portals are came by default by different applications or plugin after different application or plugin install. This URL suffix are the URL or the home page, you can say home page URL. If you see, if I land this page, there is a URL start with SP, then the URL. The SP is the URL suffix or the portal's name. So let's open any portals and see how it looks like. If I open these portals, you will see first parameter is the portal title. So it is service portal. It is nothing but whichever is showing in your whenever I am hovering on the mouse, it says the service portal. That's the service portal. That is the title which is coming from the portals title. If I change something like portals 11 and if I refresh, you will see this title is getting changed, and this whenever I am hovering on that, the portal title is getting changed. So the title is rendering from this portal configuration, this title. Next thing is that URL suffix. This is the SP, as I told. This SP is the same SP in the present in that portal's configuration. If you change this URL suffix like SP1, you are no longer be able to access this SP because the portal's URL suffix is that your first identifier of these portals. Next few boxes like social knowledge KB base, KB homepage, and catalog homepage, Those three are mainly used for that, for knowledge base or homepage or the catalog homepage. So those is not right now so necessary to understand, because whenever you are using that SP $SP in the widgets, then you will understand that what is the use case of this one, these three uh, fields. So home page is that index page which is which is help to render these portals. Whenever we are landing that this page, this is our home page, which is allowing us to render. 404 is page. Whenever I am typing something wrong, I am typing some ID is wrong, then it the 404 will allow. Like if I type ID equal to something like this, which is wrong and which is not present in the portals, that is the actually rendering for the 404 pages. Then main menu. So if I go back, you see these are the menus present in that top header. This header or these menus are rendering from this, you can say that from this field. And this menu, it's a record. If I click, it's a record, but it have that one widget which is actually rendering this. Okay, if I open this one, it have one widget header menu which is helping us to render this menu. So if you need to change something, if you want to add some menus, you don't need to change these widgets, that header menu. You can simply add here, you will able to see. But if you want to customize something which is not by default providing, like whenever I'm hovering, the color is changing, all those things. Like if you want to change something which is not controlling these widgets, you can definitely change. But the menu, if you want to add like knowledge, catalog, request, status, card, those menu, if you want to change or if you want to add, you can add here. So let's open one menu and you will see that what are the options present in that menu. If I just open the request one, if you see the menu label, the condition, the type, and then if the type is pages, then what page it should point. So if the condition is satisfied, like if the condition is satisfied, then this uh, menu will be visible, and once someone click that menu, what action will be performed, that will define here the type. There are various types available here, like pages, URL, service catalog, those types are available. And based on that, if you see, if I choose the URL, I should provide the URL where uh, that allow me to land. Like if I want to connect any external link as a menu, or if I want to land a specific page in the portals, I can use that URL here. And this is the URL target. If I want to open in a new tab, or if I want to in a same tab, that is defined here.
Hello, Ravi.
This is the order which is represent that from where this means this all are that the order is defined that who will be seek beside whom, like the knowledge, catalog, request, all those are coming one by one based on the order. If I go back, and I add the order, those are coming from this based on the order. Like first it will have the knowledge, then the catalog items. Those are coming from this order. Okay. So the that's how the home that menu is controlling. If I go back and go to these portals again, where we started our initial discussion, so this is the theme. So in this theme, it's decide that what will be your background color and how that your header and footer will be represented. Like if I go to that home page and I'm scrolling this page, if you see this header is fixed, it is not coming below. This is the fixed. So these things and the others, that background color, that if you see the gray color, so those are controlling through the theme. If you see, I have that fixed header, fixed footer. That's why whenever I'm scrolling down or scrolling up, the header is fixed. And there are some variable declared here for the CSS one. Also, you can include it, some of the external CSS class or CSS page to connect these themes, because it's not possible to connect or write everything in that same page. So they connected the external sheet to use as a theme. Also in the theme, you have one widget which is controlling all those things. If I open this, let me open that. Yeah. So stock header is the default widget that is rendering the themes, like your this profile picture, this background and everything, these logos, all those things are coming from this stock header. So in this top sections, we have two widgets. One is for the menu widgets, and from there we are controlling this menu. And second is that the stock header menu, stock header widget, that is controlling that header. Like it should be fixed, it should be one user profile, there should be one chat box. Everything is controlling that from the stock header. So let's go back to that portals again. There are few parameters like logo. You can upload the logo icons. Those are this. If you see the fab icon that coming in the browser left sections, this is that the fab icon coming from the logo and icons. Everything is controlled, and you can upload that, and you can upload the CSS variables. Means you can write a default variable where you can use the CSS variable. This is the search sources. Whenever you are searching something like iPhone or something like that, it is searching some of the things like some it is the type of search and searching the catalog item, the knowledge article, everything. That configuration is done in the search sources, like from where these search sources should come and represent your data. If I open any search sources, you will understand. Let's open one search source like catalog. In this search source, we'll see we by default it is selected that is scripted source. Whenever you are selecting the scripted source, this checkbox, this script part is automatically coming. If I uncheck, this box is not coming. So whenever you are selecting the is scripted source, that it is allowing us to query from that tables, and that data, how the data will be represented, that is present here. Like whenever I am typing, it should came with that icon of the catalog item. Everything is defined here in that search page template, where that template is defined, but actual data is fetching from this script part. If I click the typed template, where different template is applied, like if the picture is matches, what should be happens, if the icon is matches, what should be happen. And if I scroll down in these search sources, there are, if you see, there is a related list called portals, where two portals name is present. This portal's name is that, it means that these search sources uses these portals, these many portals, like this service workspace portals also using same the search source. So let's go back to our portals. Similarly, knowledge base, from where we are means from what are the knowledge base we can access, like whenever we'll query that sp underscore get knowledge base. So what are the knowledge article we should grab, that is defined here, like the catalog. So whenever we are querying that, what types of catalog item we should fetch, that is defined here. So let's go back to the portals. And one more thing, if I go to this port page, let's understand that how the page is rendering here. This page is rendering like this is the, as I told, the first part is the portal, and every portals can have multiple pages, and then every pages can have multiple widgets instance, and then every widgets instance have one widgets. So let's see the diagram that is provided by ServiceNow. This is the your domain, like your page, index page, and this page have the portals, because this portals contains these pages, and these portals have this, you can take like this is a index page, and this index page have multiple widgets instance. So these all are the widgets instance, and this widgets instance contains one and only widget. And then these widgets have the HTML, CSS, client script, and server side script. So let's compare this diagram with our portals. If I go to this page, these portals, and click the home pages, this is our page that is associated with the service portals homepage. So where if I scroll down, you will see that portals containing this page, right? And then these pages have that instances, and instances have that widgets. If I click, this is the widgets. So we can understand that the first is the portal, then page, then widget instance, and then widgets. This is the standard method, and obviously there are some other things like container, row, columns. Those are the bootstrap behavior. So we'll come this later. Why? What is the row? What is the column? What is the container? Let's understand also that CSS behavior. How the CSS is flow. If you define any CSS, this is the CSS hierarchy. So Bootstrap have by default the service portal supported by default Bootstrap and AngularJS. So whenever you are injecting some classes like BTN default, so by default the Bootstrap default CSS is injected in your page or injected in that buttons. But if you are define something in the branding editor, it will be override. So if you see the hierarchy, if you something define in the widgets, then this CSS will be only scope of that widgets. It does not affect any other places. So whenever you define any CSS, you should remember that where you are defining, so that it should not override with others or other pages. All right, so let's go to these portals and create a new pages and create a new widget so that we can do something. So if you see the portals, if I click the portals and go to the portals, these portals, there is a home page which is nothing but which is coming from this pages sections. By default, ServiceNow provided 76. You can see that 76 pages and 7 portals. And also by default, ServiceNow provided more than 100 widgets. So we can reuse those widgets, or we can use the same widgets if you need. So let's quickly create one pages here, and we can start working on that. Also, you can create the pages from the configurations. That depends on completely your cases from where you are you are going to create that. If you go to the pages and click the new buttons, you can define the title, ID, and the CSS, all those things, and you can submit it. You will create one page, or else you can go to here, click the designer or page editor, and you can create a new page. So let me create one page called day one page. Page ID is important and it's already mandatory. They provided. Initially, it was not at the time of Helsinki. So whenever you are grabbing something or you are using something, page ID will render in your URL. So let's create day one. This is our page ID and click the save button. You will see that the page is created. If I click the try it, and there is no widgets right now. That's why it is nothing is rendering here. So go to that. Okay, let's create one widgets also, so that we can add this widget to the page. If I go to the widgets and click the new, I can create the new widgets here, or else I can go this configuration, click the widget editor, and I can create a new widgets from here also. So let's create one widget called day one and click submit. It is created one page. It is created one widget called day one, and I already created that page called day one, right? So we can add this page. We can add these widgets to the page. Okay, let's do something on that widgets and we'll show in that pages. So if you see the widgets, we have 5 options available. One is the HTML, where we will write the HTML code. This is the client script, where we'll write the client side validation or client side. If I want to click the button, then this client side script should work. This is the server side, from where I should query that server side to grab something which is present in the ServiceNow tables. Like we should grab something like incident details, change details, whatever things we needed, we can do that from there. If you want to do something on the CSS, you can make it from here, like CSS, SCC. Or if you want to do some DOM manipulation, you can use these functions also. All right. So first we'll close all these tabs and we'll write something in the HTML. So I wrote something in the widgets in the HTML. So if I want to check the real time, I can enable the preview options and click that preview icon. It will automatically show the immediate changes whatever I am doing in that widgets. All right. So my basic widgets now created. If I want to add these widgets to the page, I simply have to go to this page here and I have to click the open designer. And this is the pages where I have to drag first the instances, or you can say the container row column, and then I have to drag the widgets. So as ServiceNow, I told you that as ServiceNow by default supported the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap maintain the 12 grid system, means whatever your screen size will be, the Bootstrap will divide it into the 12 part. Like if you are using the mobile, the Bootstrap automatically divided into 12 part, and this 12 part, based on that, it will represent the data. So this is if this is your whole screen, and if you want to use the the single data, you can definitely add first the container, and then you can decide if you can drag those 6 by 6, 3 by 9, 9 by 3. If you calculate 2 2 2, everything is the 12. If you calculate like 12 6 6 plus 6 12, 9 plus 3 plus 9 12. So as we are using the Bootstrap, by default it is maintaining the 12 grid system. So if I want to split it into two parts, I can use the 6 6. If I want to split it in a 6 part, I can use this part. That completely depends on the developer what their requirement is. Let's use the 6 by 6. So whenever I click the 6 by 6, it is divided into two parts. So I can drag, definitely I can use the two the page is divided into two sections, and then I can drag any widgets. So in the widgets, I can type day one and drag these widgets. Once I drag these widgets, and if I refresh, this was our previous page. If I refresh, our page started rendering from the widgets. As I split it two parts, the first left side it is showing the day one. So now we know that how we can drag the widget to the page so that page can render the widgets details. So let's go to the widgets and do something more on that widgets. So I'm closing all these tabs. Let me close these tabs and this. Okay. Before that, if let me show you that how the page structure currently changes in this page. If you see, this one is our previous page, day one page, and ID is day one. And if you see, there is no container, nothing is present right now. But we added 6 by 6 to container and one widgets, right? So let's refresh this page, and you will see the differences. If I refresh, you can see it's divided into that one container. That container have row, column, and the widgets, row, column, and then instances, and the instance have that currently day one widgets. In these columns, I can add the instance and I can add the different widgets. So the page is divided into that two parts, like the page container first, the page container, then the first row. The page first row have two columns, and then every columns have the instances and then widgets. Okay, so let's go to that widgets. This is our widgets, and go to that widgets editor mode to do something more on that widgets. So let me enable the preview options real time. So first we'll see how we can get some information from the server side, and that information, if I want to represent in that HTML, how can I see that? So it is saying that the data is the object which is available. That object I can use that HTML. So let's see how the data model or data object is used here, and how we can use this in that HTML. So let me query the incident table. So to query that incident table, I hope everyone know that. So where gr equal to so I am querying the incident table. Let's go to the incident table. Copy one of the CSID for the time being. So I query the incident table with that CSID. Now if I want to get the incident number, simply I can get from that gr.number. So this number I want to represent in the HTML side. So let's do that. So whatever things you will do in the data in the server side, you have to bind that data, you have to bind that information into the data model. Like you have like some simply you can take it the simple way, like to declare variable you use the varchar. So to declare variable in the server side, and that variable if you want to use in the HTML, you have to use the data dot then your variable name. So the server side script render the number, and if I want to represent the number here, I have to simply use the curly braces, because curly braces means that Angular, which is automatically binded that information, so that Angular understand this is not a single string or normal string, like not a day one or something like it's a variable and it's a data. So we have to use the data dot number. One interesting thing you will understand, if I type something 2 plus 3, it will simply represent the 2 plus 3. Let's do in another thing like h2. So 2 plus 3, it will simply that value only, but if I use that in a curly braces, it will calculate and represent that. Let's see. If you see 2 plus 3 is coming first this text, and 2 plus 3, whatever I write in the curly braces, it is calculated. Okay, day one, then that value is not coming. Let me use that two string here. So if you see, I query the incident table, and that incident number I am going to use in the HTML. So to do that, you have to define a variable here, data dot number. Number is your variable, and then that variable you have to use some data. I am using that incident number currently. All right. So let's do something more. We'll query the incident table and we'll represent in a tabular format. So to do that, I have to go to this incident table and I have to set some filter so that I can grab some of minimum 11. Okay. So if you see, I have 11 unassigned incident right now. I want to fetch all the incident from here, and I want to represent that information into the HTML section. So to write the HTML who are not aware of that, so started with the curly braces. There are different tags present in the HTML, h1 to the h6, the header tag, p is the paragraph. So you can go through the W3 school for that. But I'll show you at the time of whenever I'm developing something one by one. I'll show, I'll explain you that what does it mean. So every time it started with that h1 or any tags, and that tags must be ended after your representation is done. I used for h1 for this day one, and use the day two means h2 for this one, 2 plus 3, and then 2 plus 3 equal to calculation, this part. So whenever you are increasing the number h1 to the h6, the size will be reduces. If you use h5, then the size will be automatically smaller than previous one. So this is that tag. So let's query that incident table. So we are querying this one previously. So let's comment it out that one, and we'll query that incident table. So add encoded query, then query. This is our encoded string. If I right click here, I can copy this query, paste here, and then while so I query the incident table and I am fetching the incident here, incident details in the while one by one. So let me declare one local variable so that I can create a JSON format. So let's create a var inc details. Okay, and another inc array. I created one JSON and one array because I need two informations. So first information is that the incident number, and second informations I need that uh, maybe the state. So let's do that. So this is our JSON. So I am using this JSON, and then here I am using the number equal to gr dot. So you can see I faced one problem like gr dot number, and I have to use the toString. Otherwise I won't be able to get that incident number. So you can use that gr.number.toString, or else you can use that gr.getValue, and then in bracket you can provide the field name. Okay, maybe I can, it's giving me the warning. So in the third bracket you can define, or you can use the dot, and then you can use that variable. So I create a declare one JSON, and this JSON I use the first key as a number, and the key value will be that day one. So after that I want to create one more key like state. Okay, the incident one is created, and let me, once this is done, I should push that to here. So let me complete that, and then you will see that how the structure is. So I declare one JSON, and this JSON have that number and state. So this will be the two key, and then finally once that is done, I push that in the array which I declared previously, and then again when the while loop is came, I declared the same array, and then I'm pushing. If I use the log, you will see that what is okay. Maybe yeah, I can use that log to show that how the structure is right now after the JSON structure after written here. So I save, it is rendering, and if I go to these logs, okay, it is coming as a JSON.stringify is that another function which is allow you to convert any JSON to the string. If you see, when I move to the log, it is showing like object, object, object. I won't be able to see anything what data is present inside of this. So that's why I use the JSON, the stringify, to convert this object in a JSON in a string format so that I can see. If I go to the logs, is it showing something? Okay, yeah. So if you see, the current structure is like that. So it is rendering incident. The first key is the incident. Let me copy this one so you will understand. Plugin, JS tool, JS formatter. See, the first value is the number and second key value is the state. And if I copy that code here, what I did, you will better understand. So I declare one JSON here first, where the JSON, and then I set it. The first key is the number, which is right now is the key, and the value is I am getting from that gr.get value, and I am setting this value here. Second thing is I am setting the state, and the state is coming from that. You can say from that our query the table, the gr table, the incident table, and then I pushed that JSON into the array, because if you see, this is the array 0 index, this is the array 01 index, because I need all the informations in a JSON format to parse that data from here to here. You can declare as many as variable you want, but this is annoying. So you have to create a JSON, and to deal with that complex data, you have to pass that data from here to here. So let's as this one is ready, we have, as I told, this is the local variable, right? So you have to have create one variable called data, and then that data must be parsed here. So let's do that. I'm creating one. It's not the variable, it's an object. I'm actually binding the data.inc object equal to this local variable name. So once I did that, now the data is available in HTML, also in the client side. So let's see how the data is right now is available in our HTML. So if I go here and if I use that data in a curly braces and save that, you can see the data is coming in a JSON format. And from where it is rendering? It is rendering from the HTML only. Right now, if I refresh the page will have that incident number and incident data state in a, you can say, a JSON format. So if I go here and if I, instead of get value, I can use that, because the state is coming as a 1, 2, 3. So I can use that display value. So now it is coming as a state, new, all those things. All right. So data is coming as a JSON format. Right now, if we want to represent the data in a tabular format, we also can do that thing. So let's do that things quickly. So I'll create a table here. So this is the HTML tag again. Okay. First I'll create some table row, and then inside the table row I am creating the table header, you can say. So TR, after that TD, first TD will be that number, and second TD will be that state. So if I save that, you will see that the what is the current table structure. So first is the number and then state. Okay, and then next year will run that HTML, run that Angular code. So one of the Angular attribute is that ng repeat. So in that ng repeat, you have to provide one. First, you have to define a variable x in, then this your variable name. So it will iterate all the array which is present as a, and it will came as a x, like the index is 0, so data will be came in x, and then you can use the data in that tabular format. So let's see, if I declare the TD, the first TD will be our number, so x dot number, and second TD will be our x dot state. If you see, it is coming but as a x x x. Oh yes, so I have not used the curly braces. You have to use the curly braces here. But if you see, I have 11 data. As I use that ng repeat, it's automatically repeated and creating the row every time. So 11 row is created, but the data is static because I have not used that space. Now you can see the number and the state is represented in a tabular format. So if I refresh the page, it is coming in a number and the state. Okay, so all the number is coming, the state is coming. So if I summarize this, so we are querying the incident table, we are declaring one JSON, and then that JSON is we are pushing in an array, and finally we are getting the JSON something like that based on your table condition or based on that the table data you have right now, and then that data is binded in a data model, data.inc object, and then that inc object is available in your HTML sections. We are looping through, or we are iterating, or we are repeating x is a variable in the data.inc. So I am saying that bring me one by one all the array index which is present, and I I want to represent here. That's why I am using that x dot number. This number is that this number, because I am actually facing that I am fetching that this JSON actually in the HTML. I am facing fetching the JSON, that number, state, all that JSON here. So if I want to fetch some data, I have to use the key. The key is that number and the state, number and the state. So I use that in a HTML. Anyone have any doubts? Or we can continue that in a tomorrow. Tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Yeah, I have a small question. Rohit, this is Dinesh. The thing is
Yeah.
it similar with the same old versions of ServiceNow like Kingston and the other stuff? Because I'm just preparing myself in Kingston, so I just want to know.
No. Mostly same in the Kingston and that Madrid instance, but some of the new features came in the Madrid, which was not available in the Kingston patch 3. Still Kingston patch 3. I don't know which version you are using, the Kingston, but it's mostly in the enhancement. But basic structure is everywhere is the same. Whatever I showed you, everything is present in the Kingston now already. You can use that same thing.
And one more thing, I don't know much coding, so yeah, this is good for me.
Okay, so basically I use the simple code for the glide record. You can check that docs if you want, but also you can refer that. I already told you that the steps on that glide record. I only use the glide record here because Angular part will cover and will detail down all those things, the Angular part. But you just have to know about that basic ServiceNow script. And already I am explaining. If you
Yeah.
have any doubt, you can definitely ask me.
Sure, Rohit. Yeah, thanks.
Anyone have any doubts?
Hi Rohit, this is Manmat.
Yeah, hi Manman.
Yeah, I have a question that can we modify a out-of-box widget?
No, you cannot. Okay, yeah, that's a point. You cannot modify any widgets out of box, but you can clone that widgets and you can definitely use. If I go to the service portal,
Yeah, actually,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, could you please open service request one widget, sc underscore request?
Okay, let me. This one?
Yes,
Yeah.
just come down.
Okay.
Go to related links, open in designer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Open into widget audit. No, actually here in sc request,
Sorry.
actually my task is actually I was just looking yesterday that uh, when it is showing to the end user, the portal, okay, there
Mm-hmm.
it is showing like state, then what is the progress, but I want to show there as well as assignment group and assign to field.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was going there, but it was showing that it is in out of box function, it is in read
Yeah.
only state.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying this widget is out of box. If you want to, let me go to the one pages and then you will understand. This is the page, and if I go to the SC category, this is also a page. Okay, and this page
Yes,
have that SC category pages widgets. These all are widgets. I
exactly.
told you right? The instance have the widgets. So this widgets is
Hmm.
completely out of box because uh, due to some security purpose, they don't allow you to change these widgets something. So if you want to use anything here, you have to clone these widgets.
Okay.
Once you click the clone, it will create a copy SC category, right?
Hmm.
This is the same code. Now you can start
Right.
modifying here.
Okay.
Okay, once you done with your modification, you can go here because this widgets is just now created, but it does not have connection between the pages, right?
Okay.
Because I told you that we have to connect, that instance must have connect with the widgets. Right now, this is the SC category. This is the widgets
Hmm.
which is connected and pointing, which is out of box. You just clone that widgets, but you have
Right.
not modified or you have not do, you just clone. So you have to copy this widget's name and you have to go to these sections called instances. If you click the instance, I told you that instance have the widgets, right? So if you go to the instance side, and there is a section called widgets. This widgets is currently connecting with the SC category. Instead of that, you have to use the copy.sc category. This widgets. And once you save that, and if you refresh this page, you will see that it will now pointing to that your custom widgets are called copy widgets, something like that. Copy SC, right? Now you can start modifying these widgets.
Acha, okay. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Anyone have any doubts? You can ask me or you can ping me. I am actually, I will provide you the recording session, recording details. Already who have that email means already give me the email address, that's fine. But who does not provide me that email address, please ping me so that you can get the recording sessions. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, do you have my email ID?
Sorry?
Do you have my email ID?
Better if everyone can ping me. I will check who have or who don't have and I'll send you. Better. Okay. You can ping me in the WhatsApp and I'll give you that links, the recording links. Thank you very much. We'll connect tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Rohit.